Hey everybody, JJ here. You're watching Bull Boom Bear Bust. Today we ask and answer the question, are wages keeping up with the rising cost of living? Well, I think most of you know the answer is definitely no. And there are some exceptions out there. There are some people with very low overhead that live in affordable areas. And maybe some people have gotten some pretty nice increases in their pay and some nice raises. But we're going to look at the average today in the median and give you a picture on how it compares to the rising prices and inflation. Now, quick note before we get started, please make sure that you have the notification bell on and that you are subscribed. And I just want to get give a quick thank you to some people that have supported me via PayPal. Thank you for your kindness, your donations. Some of you have bought me a coffee, 2 coffees, and even more. Thank you very much. It keeps me motivated to keep doing these reports. Thank you to Linda, to Richard, and Kevin, all just within the past couple weeks have helped me out a bit. Thank you very much. Every dollar, I really appreciate it. Myself, like many people here in California, are feeling the effects of this inflation. So thank you again to everybody, even a dollar and saying hello or thank you. I really appreciate it. So thank you. Let's get into today's report. And we're going to start off right here, average hourly earnings of production and non-supervisory employees. So this gives you a good snapshot of the average worker in the U.S. Now, we talked a few reports ago about how people in the service sector, they average in the $15 an hour range. Now, this factors in many other sectors, but it doesn't include the CEOs, the upper level executives. So you see non-supervisory employees. And we see that we've just recently surpassed where we were before the Great Sickness was rolled out, right? So in April of 2020, we had about $25.16 was the average hourly earnings of these employees. We recently finally went past that. We're at $25.45. So just to give you an even number here, we're about 30 cents per hour higher than we were before the Great Sickness recession, right? So from $25.16, $25.45, let's just say 30 cents higher now per hour. Well, what does that translate to, 30 cents per hour? Not much, but let's just give us some quick math here. 30 cents times 40 hours, if you're lucky enough to get a 40-hour work week, that's about $12 a week. 4 weeks, let's just say 4 weeks, you're looking at about 48, close to $50 a month more than what you were making prior to the Great Sickness recession. Is that enough to keep up with rising prices? Right? Not even close. Even the CPI number, which is very, very low, is a lot more than that type of an increase where you're seeing maybe $50 a month higher than you were just over a year ago. But even looking at this chart here, this is out of BBC.com, we see inflation is at the highest since 2008. We're up 4.2% year over year, but CPI doesn't give us a real picture of most of the goods and costs that most people have to pay for. And I'll just give you one of many examples. The cost of a used car is up over 10% year over year. We know that rents and home prices are skyrocketing. Let's take a quick look at a chart for home prices and see how much they're up year over year. And this is a U.S. home price map. This was just updated recently to reflect the first quarter of this year, 2021. And let's just click a few cities that we know are seeing skyrocketing home prices. Let's start here in Boise, Idaho. And let's expand it out here to see the numbers. We're up to 422,000 in Boise, Idaho. That's over a 32% year over year increase. Right? So I really hope that 30%, or I really hope that 30 cents per hour year over year increase in wages will help you pay for a $422,000 house in Boise, Idaho. Right, so you get the idea, but let's just click around a little bit here. We see Salem, Oregon up 18%, over 18%. Spokane, Washington, 24%. New Mexico, Albuquerque, over 16%. Let's try to find someplace more affordable. Let's go over to the Rust Belt. Let's try Indiana. Even Indiana, well, that's Louisville, Kentucky. Let's go up a little bit. Louisville, over 13%. Indiana, let's click up here. Indianapolis, almost 14%. So you get the picture. Wages, even though some people are getting some nice raises, are nowhere near keeping up with the rising cost of living. Cars, homes, rents. gas prices skyrocketing, insurance skyrocketing in many places. Right? So insurance companies have to pay to rebuild these homes when there's damage or fires, and they're paying a lot more with the surging lumber costs, right? Home rebuilding cost, all going higher. So insurance is going higher. So when you see reports like this that jobless claims are dropping to lower than expected, well, it's not all that good news, because a lot of these jobs are not very well paying jobs, and they're service sector jobs in many cases. Now, I'm not trying to discount anyone that's working. I really, really respect and appreciate everyone that works, because there's so many people choosing not to work at this time. Even if you're working in fast food or a delivery driver, I really, really appreciate and respect everyone that still is choosing to work for a living. And I say that because in my life, I've worked several different types of jobs in different industries. I worked picking grapes on a farm one summer. I worked as a delivery driver. One summer when I lived back in Michigan, I did roofing and so many other things I've done. I worked in retail, and a lot of these jobs, you're underpaid and overworked, in my opinion. So again, I appreciate everybody that's working. Thank you so much for all that you do. All right, now let's go to this chart down here in this CNBC article. And what do we see? We're at 444,000 new jobless filings in 1 week. That's still more than double of the new jobless filings pre-shutdown recession. So we're not out of the woods by a long shot. I don't see this economy ever recovering back to where it was. And even if it does, or even if it's stated that it's recovered, it's really not if you really look at the true picture and wages and how many more people now are dependent on payouts from the money printer. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap this up. The bottom line is things are not looking so good. We're going to have more people dependent on payouts from the money printers. When you have 100-something million people dependent on payouts, you're going to have more people that are going to be desperate. Things are going to get more dangerous. And you're going to have to do a lot more, and you're going to have to follow a lot more stricter rules when you're dependent on payouts. And this is the direction I think we're all headed in. Eventually, we're all going to be dependent on the money printers. Why? Because inflation is going to keep going. The market makers, the money printers, they can take this as far as they want to, as far as asset prices. They can prevent foreclosures and evictions, meaning that the home prices can stay distorted for as long as they want to. And once you're dependent on payouts from the money printers, you have to follow their rules. And so basically they say jump, you say how high. You have to jump through all these hoops. They can stick it with all kinds of stuff just so you can eat a meal, because you're going to be dependent on the money printers. That's where it's all headed. I hope you're doing good as of today, but keep preparing so you don't find yourself in that desperate situation, having to jump through those hoops, if you know what I mean. Everybody stay well, keep stacking, stay prepared. Until next time, peace out, bye.